What you see behind me is the beautiful Chaurasi Kutia. This entire place that you see over here is now very famously known as the Beetle Ashram. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to basically tell you how to be careful of falling into a trap called the ashram trap. But first, let me tell you what an ashram used to be in the earlier times. In the earlier times, when somebody wanted to learn about spirituality, they would find out social media was not there in the earlier times, books were hardly there, so they would find out where some part of probably India there is a guru who stays somewhere really far away. They would go to his house, stay in his house, and learn about spirituality. So, in the earlier times, a guru was not allowed to take money from anyone because knowledge, like I always say, is free. I give free knowledge on my channel, unlimited amount of free knowledge. What I charge for is my personal time for online sessions. So in the earlier times, when times were different, when a guru would keep you in your house, he was obviously giving you food, water, accommodation, cleaning up the place just for your comfort. So what travelers, what students started doing when they would go to the guru's house, which was not called an ashram in the earlier times, they would carry food, they would carry water, they would clean up the place in the name of, okay, you're giving me free education, let me do something at least from my side. So that's what seva used to be, in service. In today's time, seva is taken to some other meaning altogether. So now when you go to an ashram, you're paying them a lot of money. It's basically like a hotel stay that you're giving over there. And then a lot of ashrams will tell you in the name of seva, you can come and work over here, you can serve people, it's good to serve people, but then why? You know, those ashrams are making a lot of money from a lot of different ways of making money. Like I said, you go and pay them money already for the 3 day, 4 day that you're going to go learn yoga. They don't even ask you, do you need yoga? What form of yoga do you need? What is your life journey? Do they ask you any of those things? No, there's just mass yoga for everyone, mass meditation for everyone. Nobody will even bother asking you, I want to sit down with you and ask you, is this what you really require? They never do any of those. So in today's time, an ashram is basically like a hotel stay. They make you feel good. They make you believe this is what an ashram life is till you go back to reality and then everything's back to normal. Just for those 3 days, those package deal that you get from an ashram in today's time is where you think this is what life is all about outside till you head out and phone starts ringing, job's not there, money's not there, love's not there. So the entire practice in the earlier times or even in today's time is somebody has to teach you about spirituality, should teach you how your life outside should be like an ashram. So when you're coming here, when my students come and they meet me, they come and stay with me on the farm or wherever, I tell them, don't keep your phones off, keep your phones with you. Outside world, your phone is going to be there with you. So let it ring. Even if you're meditating with me, even if you're sitting and talking to me, don't put your phone off. Let it ring. You can answer your phone or put it off. Be as real as you are in the outside world, not just the ashram. So here you have so many people, especially a lot of people from the West, where they think that, okay, they're coming and they're working in that ashram, they're cleaning toilets, they're cleaning sheets, they're picking up bags and keeping, they think that, okay, they're doing service to God. No, you're just a free labor for that ashram, my friend. So stop doing that. Stop falling for the trap of an ashram. You've already paid them that money, so live like royalty, basically. You paid the money, right? You want to do service, you do service in your house, you do service in your community outside of that ashram. You know, you find a lot of rich people will go to an ashram or a temple or a gurdwara where they go do service, which is they'll go pick up somebody's shoes, keep it on the racks because shoes are not allowed in the ashram or in the mandir or in the gurdwara. They will serve you food saying that, okay, yeah, we are doing service. It's a good thing that we're doing. But my friend, these are the same people who treat their own staff back home like rubbish. They look down upon them. In the ashram, in the temple, in the gurdwaras, they will go clean plates, but will they clean a plate of somebody who's working in the house, their security, you know, their office staff, their house staff, the maintenance staff? And here in India, we've got staff for everything. We've got drivers, we've got cleaners. Our cleaners also have a cleaner who's cleaning their house. So we've got a huge way of showcasing our service, you know. So don't fall for this trap. Don't come from wherever you're coming from, another part of the world. Don't let anybody in an ashram tell you that, okay, you should work over here. You are free to come here and do some service. It's in the name of God. No, it's not in the name of God. It's in the name of the one who owns that ashram. They will teach you to live a simple life. But look at this. The one who owns all of this, you think he lived a simple freaking life? Look at those domes. Those stones that you see is made from the Ganga River. Those stones were taken from the Ganga River that's flowing over there, picked up from there, made so many domes over here for meditation. You think this person who ever owned this was living a simple life? I don't think so. That's a beautiful life. It cost a lot of money. Where do you think that money was coming from? You know? So you're paying them a lot of money to then start working for them. This is why a lot of foreigners, when a lot of tourists, when I meet them, they're always saying, my God, I mean, we worked there for so long for nothing. So does that make any sense? You know? So just be careful of the ashram trap. Go visit it, go have fun. You know, learn what you need to learn and just get out of there. So be careful.